Hello, my name is Angela Graham, and I'm the fifth grade math science teacher at Windsor STEM in Linden, Ohio. And I'm actually going to introduce some Chrome extensions that you might want to add to your device, especially if you imagine yourself using Google Meet at any time with your students. Now, I know that we're going to be mainly using Zoom, it sounds like. The district at this time of the posting of this video hasn't said that we had to use one or the other, but right now Zoom seems to be working best. But it is important to have different platforms to use, especially if we have something that happened a couple days ago happened again, which is when Zoom crashed. A lot of schools actually had their Zoom sessions crash for the whole day, and it's up for the schools that started already. And they ended up having no video platform until they were able to bring that back up. So it does not hurt to have different avenues to go about it. But when you're using something like Google Meet, which is probably the next simplest in my opinion, and easy for the kids to, get onto without a lot of assistance, especially the younger kids. The only problem with it was you can't see all your kids at once, even if you're the host. And you can't really break up in the breakout groups, which was something that is beneficial to have in Zoom. And you do not want to be stuck in a situation like if you're looking at my screen now, there's not many options. We have show everyone, which is of course just me right now. We see a chat, add people, da da da. But we don't really see an option to see if there was more people here. We only see like 6 of them, or sometimes just they'd bounce around the screen. And if you're a kid, like up to 30 kids potentially, that's a problem, especially if you're doing presentations for maybe the slightly older students, or maybe you're answering questions after doing a read aloud with the kids and you can't see them. That causes issues. I know when school first shut down, some of the kids became very frustrated that I was not seeing them trying to get my attention, and they eventually just shut down and did not want to participate anymore because I was not noticing them, and that's really frustrating. It does not make them feel visible in the classroom. So there's a way to go about that, and there's 2 Chrome extensions that I have found through some resources available for teachers that was introduced to me, and I seem to really like them. Now, the first one is actually called Google Meet Attendees and Breakout Rooms. If you use Zoom, and you might have been in your own, not TBT yet, but if your principal hosted one and they maybe broke you off into breakout rooms, she did something similar to what Google Meet can do, but you need to download the extension. I'm going to break this down. I'm going to add it now because all you have to do is Google it, Google Meet Attendees and Breakout Rooms. And you click the one that pops up. Make sure it looks like this, and then you're going to go and add it. It's going to ask you, can I read and change your data on meetgoogle.com? That is okay. It's not accessing any personal data or anything like that. It's just wants the permission to edit Google Meet. So I'm going to add the extension, and that's literally it. Now you're going to see here, it says it's been added to Chrome, da da da. If you want it on all computers to turn sync, don't worry about that. And you can use this extension by clicking on the icon. And the cool thing is, again, this is the puzzle piece, takes up all your extensions. You can pin it. So let's say you need it up more like this. I can pin it to my screen just like I have with the Bitmoji, so I know it's there. You can also remove it from here. We can go remove from Chrome, unpin. So don't think just because you download something that you have to keep it forever. Another one I want to do before I show how these work is Google Meet Grid View. Now you have to make sure when you look this up, you put the fix after it, because there's another one out there right now which actually is has a lot of reviews, but they're very poor. So you'll notice it's almost 1 star on that one instead of the 4 stars here, because originally that Chrome extension worked well, but then something happened to it, or maybe an update happened, and it's actually causing all that grief for teachers. So you have to make sure you are downloading the Google Meet Grid View fix, or else you're kind of going to be in a rough situation. So you can actually see an overview, go down to it. It adds a toggle to use grid layout in Google Meets. They do mention how it's a temporary workaround, so eventually the main one might be fixed and you will get like an update, or maybe this thing will stop working. So all you got to do is re-download the correct pin. And right now they just have this to help us through the beginning process of virtual school. Now, as you can see in this picture here, you see a whole bunch of people just appear on the screen. That comes in handy so you can see everybody. Of course, I hope we do not have as many people in one class session as we do right here now in this picture, but it's able to show you every student in your current session at the same time. So what we're going to do is we're going to download that. I'm going to go to the top, add to Chrome. It's going to ask the same thing. Can I go and read and change the data? You go, yes, add extension. And again, it will pop up here. If you want to, you can pin it. For now, since I'm doing this, I'm going to pin it. And I'm going to have that there. We are going to go back here, and I'm first going to X out since I'm going to go back into this session. Return home screen because I want it to update. Okay, so I'm going to join or start meeting. I'm going to put example Windsor. No one's going to join us, so example Windsor. And it's going to pop up. Okay. Oh no, my face did not remember that. Okay. And now we're going to see here, I'm going to go and join the session. It asks if anyone joins in, the normal stuff. Turn this off so I don't get reverb. But over here, you can see I have two new options now. I have attendance, and then I have the grid view, which is really beneficial because look how it says only show participants with video. You can highlight the speakers, so that will pop up. Include yourself in the grid, which I would recommend if you're doing like a presentation. Enable grid view by default. Like this is actually not a bad thing to check there because you want it to automatically go there so you don't forget. And enable screen capture mode. That actually locks videos in place and disables the name. So if you're trying to do screen capture, you can keep privacy. And I know it's going to say, warning, unauthorized extension. And again, the reason why it's unauthorized right now is the main one is glitchy, and this is going to help us until they finally fix that. So attendance, I really do like as well, because once all the students join the session, you'll see a list of names of all of them. You can refresh it as well once they join. Of course, there's no one with me in the session, so unfortunately you can't see it right now, but you can copy the list, you can do comparison lists, group generator, which is nice, randomized person if you want to do like, oh, I get to pick one lucky person to get to share something that wants to, da-da. This allows you to be more fair. You can do show group generator, and you can actually break down the groups. So see here, it says users over group or number of groups. You can do either way. I can make as many groups as I want. So let's if I wanted 4 groups, it's a number of groups, and they would evenly divide as best as it can all your students into 4 various groups. When you do that, you're going to go and let's see, I don't know if it'll let me because I'm the only one here. You can generate the groups. There you go. So, oh, I clicked it twice. That is my own problem. 1 second. Actually, I did too many, but that's okay. Because you can also reset it. There you go. We're going to stop that for now. But when these breakout sessions pop up, you can copy the meet links. And when you copy that, you can post it in the chat, which is again right here. And this will allow students to be able to go to their generated links, and you can also see them. So the cool thing is, because of course you got to monitor and you can't, simultaneously monitor everybody's group, what you can do is you can pop in and out. So again, there's nobody here, so it's not really working right now since it knows I'm the only person, but this just allows you to be able to jump into their sessions, pop it up into the chat, and you'll have 4 separate groups. And all you got to do is click the link provided to you, which will pop up with the people. And you can just go, look up, I'm going to go into Susie's session and see what their group's doing. I'm going to go pop over here now. So, and plus it allows you to have that visibility because they'll see when you pop in, but they won't know when you're going to pop in. So you got to make sure they're on task and make sure the conversations stay appropriate. You can do that all because they're connected to this current session, which is something you definitely want to keep an eye on as they are working at home. So again, it's only me now, so it would be better if you want practice, have some friends or some colleagues and ask them to join a session and just play around with it. Take turns being the host. You can play around with it. It's never a bad idea to get familiar with the software and the extensions that you'll be using ahead of time, so you're not feeling kind of frazzled when you're actually using it. So those are just 2 really good extensions that I really prefer to use. Again, I know my school personally, we're using, I'm presuming most people watching this are from my school district, but we're mainly using Zoom, it seems, but there's no reason that we cannot use Google Meet, especially if there's another situation like it crashes. So Please make sure if you want to, you can go either write down the names of the extensions, you can download them as you see me do this. But definitely if you're using Google Meet and you're a teacher, definitely download those extensions. If you have any questions, you can try to get in contact with me, or else I just hope that this works well for you and improves your classroom's experience and makes the students feel like they're more visible. Look forward to my other instructional videos as I pop up some new extensions that might help you in the classroom setting.